Okay, so this video is about the 3 reasons why you should buy a cheap starter camera. To get right into it, the first reason is that the quality of your image is mostly about lighting and lenses. Right now I'm shooting this on a manual lens from like the 70s or 80s, manually focused, and I have a big, broad, light on my face. This is very simple and a decent image quality. If you look at this background, it's put at an angle that gives you a difference of in my depth of field to something in focus, for something to eye to like sort of blur out on this side, and it gives you a sense that gives you like an interesting feel, and it's not too complicated. So cameras are going to come out every single year because camera manufacturers have to sell them. But billboards were shot 15 years ago on 8, 10, 12 megapixel cameras. So this idea that you need a 24 megapixel or whatever thing that whatever new shiny thing that's being sold today, unless you have a specific reason, like you shoot sports or you need to shoot like 4K, 8K video to be blown up, IMAX size, because that's what you do for a living. Like, there's no need to get a camera with those features to begin unless money's no object. Now, the second reason, when you're on a budget, why you shouldn't spend so much on your camera is that money could be better spent on lighting equipment. There's all these little, once you really get into photography, you'll find out there's all these little tools and little accessories that you need to acquire in order to make everything work. Hiring a model, hiring a makeup artist, going to a location if you want to shoot landscapes or wildlife or what have you. Those parts of the production value of your images are going to matter a lot more than whether your camera shoots 10 megapixels, 24 megapixels, or 32 megapixels, etc. The only caveat to that is that if you want to shoot sports or wildlife, you'll need something specifically with that can shoot burst mode or what have you. But for the beginner, somebody who's really trying to figure things out and learn the fundamentals, that's not something you should really concern yourself with. And the last reason, and I think the most important reason, is that there's a quote that says, "Done is better than perfect." And when I say that, I mean that if there's any sort of obstacle or excuse you're putting into your way as to why you're not getting started, I need this bling bling camera that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,500 because that's what XYZ wedding photographer uses, what have you. That's one more obstacle in your way in getting started in your photography journey. So, I would say, have something, even whether if you're shooting with your iPhone or your Android seriously, or get what you can afford and actually start learning. And once you start seeing the limitations of your gear, if you're actually learning the fundamentals, then you can sort of work your way up to certain equipment and buy things used or borrow things or rent things for $25 a day or what have you. But start somewhere, and that's it.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more of my work, check out the links in the description box.